Hello everyone and welcome back to week 3 of the game development logs. If you haven't already seen the first 2 videos, I strongly encourage you to go back and watch those. So this week I did not have as much time as I would have hoped to work on the game. I did, however, try to get as much done as possible. So right now you can see I spent some time working on some debugging. There were some problems with the enemy AI where it wasn't pulling from the same, inheriting from the same class as, say, the player was for characteristics such as damaging and attacking. I also tried to spend some more time working on the artwork for the game. So here you can see I started creating some new crops and grass tiles, which are actually implemented in a pretty interesting way, if you ask me. So before, how we had it set up, with the fence at least, was when a player would walk up to it, the sorting layer was always a constant. So if the player were to walk behind the fence, it would really look like the player was still on top of the fence. But with a couple adjustments and some new code, that's all changed and it looks great. So check that out as the player walks through the field here. Alright, so let's check out what happens once we send this enemy through these crops here. This is a new effect I just added. You can see the enemy follows me just like it did in last week's video. We can walk around water and so on, but what's really interesting is watch what happens as the enemy follows me through the crop. First, you're going to see, nothing that interesting, right? Wrong. Because we're about to tweak a few variables and see something really cool happen. So you can see this is all related to this variable right here, the minimum damager level. And right now this is set to 3 on all of our crops. And if we hop over into the enemy script, we'll see that the damager level for the enemy is set to 1. Since that is less than the minimum, it won't destroy the crops. But if we set this to 5, so it's greater than 3, watch what happens as we start walking through the crops with our enemy. It starts destroying the crops! How crazy! I also did some work on the fence posts, so instead of just adding rules for fences aligned horizontally, there will also be fences that are aligned vertically, so you could actually make a boxed-in fence. I did not quite have time to actually implement this in the game. It's not as easy as the rule tiles that I showed you last week because the fences are added in just a little bit of a different way so we can do that sorting effect properly. So hopefully I'll have time to work on that next week. And just as before, our bombs will also destroy the crops. Check this out. I do apologize if these videos ever seem slow in progress to you. I do work a full-time job outside of this. This is mainly something I do in my free time, my weekends, and my afternoons. But hopefully, once this internship is over in about 3 weeks, I will have some more time to actually focus in on the game before my semester starts at the University of Minnesota in the fall. I tried creating a barn for this farmland. It didn't come out exactly how I was hoping, but first try wasn't too bad. I hope to spend some more time on it in the future. I think something I also need to focus on more is because this really is a sci-fi game, I think I've really been stepping away from that in the artwork at least. I think I need to focus more on really combining this strange junction between these old farming techniques, with tractors and so on, with this kind of sci-fi vibe we're trying to create. So I think all of these elements are going to need to be upgraded with some sort of technological tool. So you can see on the right here, I did add some sort of pump that I thought might give it a futuristic vibe, but I tossed that away for now. Hopefully I can bring it back in the future once I have a better idea of what we're trying to do. Lastly, to finish up the week, I spent some time just reorganizing some of the file folders because after a couple months of development, things were really getting disorganized and I really tried to group it together as best as possible based off what each script does. So that is it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit like or subscribe if you're interested in seeing more. Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention is this rocket right here. I don't think I've showed you that since the first video. Not much has changed, just a few debugs. That's the barn added to the game. Alright guys, hope to see you soon. Bye.